we've got Adam here today. Adam, how did your show go?
Yeah, it's good. It's always a pleasure to come on and speak to Glenn and Nige. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
amazing. Good. What brought you back onto the show then? Because you're a returning guest.
I am, aren't I? Just the fact that I think I really enjoyed it the first time and hopefully gave a lot of value, but I got a lot of value from speaking to the guys. So
awesome. Yeah, well, we certainly enjoyed listening to it. So it's great to hear some more depth into your life.
I think the key thing to expect really is just how I deal with my mental well-being in a busy schedule, and how I kind of use exercise and rest to improve that.
In the studio today, I'm really excited actually, because we've got Adam Smith from Alpha Mortgages, who's come back. He enjoyed it so much the first time, and so did we actually, because there were so many different aspects of you, your story, your business, what you're doing. So first and foremost, welcome back to the Reality Check. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me back. Firstly, yeah, I'm pretty good. Like today's been good.
Okay.
Very productive, very good. But yeah, it depends. Some days maybe not so good. But this is the roller coaster of life. But yeah, I think it's just more about being able to recognise when it's not a good day and how you cope with it. And that's the biggest thing that I learn over time.
Wow. I tell you what, let's just go back for some of our listeners. Last time that you were with us, we were going out on a Thursday lunchtime.
Yep.
And now that we're going out on the night time on a Wednesday, some people may have missed that. So just give a brief overview about what it is that you do as a profession.
Sure, absolutely. So what I do is I have a mortgage brokerage, and basically we just find clients finance for properties, really. So whether you're buying a home, if that's a residential, or you might be an investor looking at buy-to-lets, or it could be you could be doing bridging finance, property development, anything really, or commercial. So we cover all aspects, really. Yeah.
You are slightly different, and I want to go through those differences.
Okay.
Exactly the same with Glenn, to be honest with you. When you talk about, mortgage brokers or financial advisors or insurance, whatever, you've got this automatic thing in your head of what that must be for that person. But there's two examples
or what
here.
That person looks like as well, I think, a lot of times.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. I don't fit that mold.
No, me neither.
There's a real connection there emotionally. This is not just for you. I just do mortgages. No, it's that delight that you get when you've got somebody their first home or whatever it is.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I was thinking about this earlier. I had a conversation with somebody last night who I do a little bit of work with, and he's a financial advisor, and he passes me business. And I said, what we do is we give value to our clients. We solve problems. They've got a particular pain point, whether that's I'm a first-time buyer and I've got bad credit, I've had payday loans, something like that, and that's the pain point. That's the kind of how do we get to a solution that gets you a home encompassing in that. And that's why I would say people come to me, because I'm a problem solver. I'll try and navigate away and put that forward to the client, just to find a solution that is going to help them out, really, and it's helping them that is what's happy to me. Makes me feel happy. I do work with Glenn, and we've got a lot of complex things, and it's kind of thinking, how can we get this? Because it's ultimately helping the client, but it's then going to help our businesses going forward as well. Of course. So,
I think that's so important. And I think because things have changed, for me, I'm seeing a lot of people now that are interested in who is the person behind the mortgage broker, who is the people that are selling or delivering a service provision. Ethically and morally. I think people are really into that these days, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's kind of gone full circle a bit in a way, because like historically you'd have brokers, in particular mortgage brokers, insurance brokers, but most like financial services or just service-based businesses tended to be kind of quite personable, single point of contact. you have like an account manager or something that looks after your business, and they're your go-to, and you pick up the phone to them on their mobile whenever you need anything. And then it's like all these companies grow and consolidate and buy each other, and in the next minute everything's like they've got these huge departments with huge offices, and you lose that personal touch. You're dealing with a different 100%. Person every time. And I think from my experience, type of business that I run and you run, Adam, is very similar, although we're in different sectors. Is taking it back to that basics of being that trusted advisor person, that individual person,
100%
that solves it for them.
100% agree with that, mate. And it's personal branding, isn't it? You know, if you look at anything, if you go anywhere and watch any video, or just walk outside, everything in this day and age is about personal branding, and everybody has a personal brand. So I think it's just really trying to use all the available outlets, whether that's social media, whether that is video, radio, whatever that might be, to promote your personal brand. That's just the kind of luxury we have in this day and age with technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because, you know, talking about technology, and although you are a mortgage broker with a heart and a problem solver, which is great, you know, and I really think it is great, because this is what attracts people.
Oh, thank
you. They need to be able to come and talk and have a proper conversation, feel safe enough to be able to say it as it is.
Yeah, it's a personal thing, isn't it? Particularly a home, a purchase of a home to live in as well. Well, it's a very personal thing. It's a massive purchase.
It's a big deal, especially when you get to your residential clients. There's more emotion in it. When you're dealing with investors, it's numbers. Does the deal stack?
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with people's homes, you're looking at their bank statements, you're seeing everything they can do in their life. It really, you know, you build a picture up of that person, and I feel kind of honoured and privileged to actually be able to help people do that the trust they put in me to kind of review their financial situation.
And you started our interview today by saying, you know, I'm having a good day today.
Yeah.
But then you also went on to say, you know, it's not always that, and it's about recognising when I'm not having a good day. What do you mean by all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question, and thank you for asking. I think, look, you know, I've came on before, I've told you about, you know, my mental well-being and how I deal with that, and it really is day by day.
Would it be useful? There are going to be lots of our new listeners that don't, you know, can you say something about the way that your mental health is?
Yeah, so I've got ADHD and like episodic mood disturbance, which would be, people would probably liken it to like a bipolar disorder. So some days, you know, you're really energetic, and some days it's kind of like rapid cycling that will change. And you know, I am so busy. My whole days are just like, I probably work about 12 to 14 hours a day. It's because I love it. I love what I do. But I have to be very careful that I don't burn myself out on a given day.
Yeah.
Because it can hit me like a ton of bricks. But also, if I don't time all my medication perfectly, or say, you know, I need to go to the chemist to pick stuff up, maybe I've run out of date, I can't go more than 24 hours, or it will go bang, and it will absolutely be like, whoa, I can't do anything today.
What is that like? So, you know, and again, there's lots of our listeners out there that have not yet been diagnosed. I had a conversation this morning with somebody that they have just been diagnosed with ADHD, and what they said to me was that so much just fell into place and understand. Oh, right, that's why I am like this. That's why I think. So, you know, it's for you without your medication. What is it like?
You go to some real dark places. I mean, the demons are coming in your head. Like dark, and you just think, oh, okay, right, I feel like, God, I don't want to be here. But then as soon as you get back, and I always say, go to bed, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and you feel amazing again. You think, oh, I'm all right now. And it literally is recognising, okay, I've pushed it too far. I might have run out of the medication. Right, okay, cool, I've got it now. Now I'll go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, and I'm good. But I have to be so careful on everything I eat as well. Diet is a huge, important factor in everyone's life. So, you know, I try and just go to like farm food type of places now, get stuff that's kind of, you know, out of the ground, or if the meat's there fresh, you know, or eggs, and it's diet's a huge part. I train, so I'll split my day out, which is a bit of a non-negotiable. About 12:30, I'll go to the gym, and I'll only go for an hour, but I'll split this. A few days a week will be, you know, kind of weights. But what I've started doing is 2 days a week doing pad work, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and that's amazing. That is probably one of the best things you can do for a stress relief. Going and beating stuff.
It is something that I know. I watched. There's a couple of things that I'm hoping that we can talk about today. You know, one is your involvement in just getting into the MMA, and also your podcast, because I've been watching your podcast. But just before we do that, so in regards to the way that you deal with your mental health, and again, I wanted just to thank you for sharing, because that's what all this is about. You now feel all right by dealing with it.
Yeah, it's the recognition of being self-aware enough to say, yeah, today I don't feel good.
And I think that is the big thing. And it's the acceptance that this is who it is that I am.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
When we first started the conversation, you were talking about your fitness and well-being, etc., etc. And also, I noticed that you are getting into the MMA, and you've got your kids involved. And you were saying that is... tell me about it. Why did you get involved with this in the first place?
Well, I've always been going to the gym, local gym, BST, for years, and just doing weights really and a bit of cardio. And about a year and a half ago, my kids have always been really energetic. They've always been into sport, done swimming, stuff like that. They just kind of were fighting. I was like, right, well, if you're going to fight, we'll go to the gym and you can do it properly. So that's how that started. Anyway, I took them down there, and there's a guy, Reese, who I had on my recent podcast, and was just teaching them. Kids thought it's brilliant. It's really good with the kids, the way he's teaching them as well. So I thought, yeah, he's a cool guy. And then I saw on his Instagram he was just advertising for like one-to-ones, doing pad work. And I thought, you know what, that's probably going to be quite good for like my fitness, and better than going on the treadmill, because that's boring. It's really boring. So I just like messaged him, and he's like, yeah. And we kind of built that relationship really from there. Found him to be like a really interesting guy, and just kind of...
And what's the impact, relationship? What's the impact that fitness and doing the pad work, getting the kids involved? How does that have an impact on you from a mental health point of view? Oh, it's amazing.
If you, especially as well, because I'm going down at lunchtime. If you had like a bit of a hard morning, and the demons are coming out, just going away, spending that hour, just absolutely kicking the pads. I'm not going to say a swear.
You can't swear.
But you know what I mean. And, you know, having someone like Reese that's just kind of like, come on, and pushing you as well.
Just keep pushing, Yeah,
he pushes you. And I was like, push me. And you can see the development over time just showing up. And my health I feel fitter. I feel that I've got more energy than even when I was doing more cardio just on treadmill, because it gets you in a different way. So, really, I've always liked combat sports. My granddad was an amateur boxer back in the day, and it's pretty good. So from being a kid, I used to watch boxing. I'm still a huge boxing fan now and go to a lot of fights. So I've always enjoyed combat sports, but it's taken me really to this age to kind of get in involved. And get my fitness. Yeah, I mean, look, I just go for fitness. I'm never going to do more than that. But, I'm planning on sponsoring Reese for his next upcoming fight before he turns pro.
Wow.
So, it's getting the name out there and as we always say, paying it forward into things that we like.
Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend.
And that's what it's about.
And that's what it is about. And again, what I love about just listening to that is, and I think we said it early on about the very stereotypical mindset that we have about a mortgage broker or a finance. It's the same with MMA fighters and boxers. We, without sort of putting any thought into it, we can actually get to the point and say, well, they've got to be a thug if they're going to do that. But
not at all,
we had Josh Nagy, and he's a boxer. What a wonderful guy. You know,
but it builds that kind of that determination, that commitment. But there's a lot of like I don't know how to describe it really, but it's kind of like it's that kind of consistency of focusing on something. Discipline. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah,
it's not just discipline in fitness or whatever that person chooses to do. It's their whole life. discipline in business, discipline at school for kids, doing what they say they're going to do consistently, and that's what it's about. I mean, look, so many people are sat there scrolling all day, right? So many people scrolling all day on the social media, and I thought to myself, I'd rather be a content creator than a consumer.
The social media addiction that we all seem to have. And I'm going to be bringing Glenn into this because, and it's something that inspired me, and I still have yet to do it. But you came off social media for that whole reason of just wasting time.
Well, I felt like I wasn't in control because it's programmed in a way to, some people maybe have more self-control than me, but I work for myself, so there's no one looking over my shoulder. And then, before you know it, you're on TikTok and you've lost 2 hours and you start getting that sick feeling in your stomach and you're like, what am I doing? And it's but it's programmed to keep you, it's all the chemicals, isn't it? It's like, I'm going to see a great video in a minute, I'll just keep scrolling. And everybody's... It's got to be, and I couldn't control it, so I said, I always say, if I can't control something, then just remove it. If you can't, and that's like anything, isn't it? An alcoholic wouldn't have alcohol in their house.
Isn't that scary though? That we're saying, like, I mean, you've said two things there. Nigel said, "How did you get off it?" And you've said, you saw it, likening it to an addiction. That's mad, isn't it? Let's just sit here and think about that for a minute, because that's mad.
Do you know? I think that we are coming to a time in life, and I think that. And I know that COVID was harsh for so many of us, and for a lot of people that didn't come through it. But some of the things that came from that is that people are beginning to ask those questions of who it is that I am really, what do I really want to do, what will I accept as just brain numbing activities like going through TikTok. And people are starting to say, no, enough. Who am I really, and what is it that I really want to do? We're rapidly coming up to the end of the show, Adam, and so first I just wanted to say thank you for coming in again. It's great to get a bit of an update. My pleasure. And again, thank you for sharing the reality of your life. It's one of the big things that we're here to do, is just to be able to share our journeys and adventures.
Absolutely. And I mean, my life is by no means perfect. But I just try and take one day at a time. Try and wake up, see how it goes.
Absolutely. Now, if our listeners, because there's lots of people out there be thinking about mortgages, etc., don't know who to go and talk to, how can you get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can Google us, Alpha Mortgages, spelled ALFA. We're on YouTube, same channel, Alpha Mortgages, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, all of those.
You're all over it.
Yeah.
I just want to jump in and say I definitely recommend anybody that is interested in, and it's not just about if you're looking for a mortgage, but if you just need some advice, because I know that at the moment, like, the rates are going crazy out there, and it's all
they're
coming. They're starting to come down, and there's some fixes out there, but we've seen some real turbulent time and people struggling with it, and I think. I've seen some of your shorts that you did, which again, the reels. Thanks Adam, I watched that and then I lost 3 hours of my life. But like you do some really great little videos.
Thank you,
explaining, I think in simple terms, what you can do to fix your credit or what you can do to do this.
I'm a simple guy, and people always say to me, I do a lot of these kind of industry podcasts, and they like to get me on because I'm just to the point and frank, and I don't use jargon to confuse people. If you just look. Why do you need to?
Absolutely.
What's the point?
There is no point. And I think that so many people are now getting to that. I just need to be me. Say it as it is. Trying not to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Because when we find that authentic stride, life becomes a lot easier.
This is it. Yeah. Be unapologetic about it either.
Yeah, absolutely. Not, no apologies for being who it is that we are. Again, thank you so much for coming into the studio today. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next update.
Absolutely,
if you're out there and you want to get involved with the show, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can get in touch with us on Instagram and come in and tell us your story. Well, until next week, have a good one, and we'll see you real soon. Ta-ra.
So this is your opportunity then to get your pages out there. How can people get in touch with you? How can people listen to your own podcast that you do as well? Which Glenn's been a guest on. Absolutely. Tell us all about that.
Yep. So if you go onto Alpha Mortgages YouTube, the podcast there in the podcast playlist. We're also on all the social medias, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Alpha Mortgages, or on LinkedIn, just me, Adam Smith, and you can find me there.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Well,
anything that you didn't get to say on the show that you want to add?
I think if I did, we'd be going into depth.
We'd be going deep conversations.
That'd be another show, yeah.
That's for a later podcast. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries,
and don't forget, you can check us out on, you'll be watching now on Reality Check Community on Instagram. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well.
See you later.